So I'm gonna go ahead and open the meeting up at 2:01. And for anybody that would like, here's a copy of our agenda. You want to pass it around? Somebody can sit next to me. I don't bite. So let's go ahead and so we have some new people here. First, I want to welcome everybody for coming that's here, and please get the word out. We had just one gentleman here say that this was a meeting for the board, not everybody. But to me, the more people that attend, the more people that are aware of what's going on in our subdivision. You know, I appreciate that. I mean, it's nothing private we're doing up here. So go ahead. You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Mm-hmm. My name is Jennifer Turco, and my husband is Mike Wellashino, and we live at 752 Knob Bridge.
Okay, introduce yourself.
Katie Talamini, I live at 2321 Oak Park.
Everybody knows me. I'm Roger. I'm the president.
Hey, I'm Lisa Burrell, 812 Knob Bridge.
How's the pool?
Oh gosh, it's almost there. Sorry for all the trash. It's awful.
There you
I
go.
better keep one for myself.
What you gonna do though?
Yeah.
Oh, she got to get a new pool.
Thank you.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kit Forshee, treasurer. I do the web stuff.
Kid for she everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, and I'm Cole Hazard. I take the notes.
Yes.
Okay. Can we go ahead and get the minutes read from last meeting?
Yes. All right. Point of clarification. Opening. I'm sorry. No, let's start with opening. 207. Point of clarification. Only board members are active voting members. Concern about adding solar panels is that it will set precedent for continued changes in aesthetics. Suggestion to limit solar panel placement to the rear of the home only. Upgrades and repairs. Pond. Overview of pond purpose and components at Fielder, sole member of the pond committee. Pond is designed as a retention pond, not an ornamental feature, and it drains into the creek. Each storm drain in the neighborhood feeds this pond. It's over 6 feet deep, and the fountains are intended to remove toxins and undesirable sediment from the pond through aeration and desirable bacteria growth and floats, each with 3 lights. Past maintenance was done in 2014, and the lights at the time replaced with LED lights. All equipment in the pond is original, one pump needs to be replaced and refurbished. Estimated cost for repair of pump and lights, $2,650. Estimated replacement cost is $4,760. Motion to repair damaged pump accepted. Vote to move forward with pump repairs is unanimous. Then Fielders send invoice to Kit to arrange repairs to move forward. Tree growth in pond needs to be addressed at Fielder to identify a work day for volunteers to assist with tree management or removal. Chlorine distribution system added to pool for estimated $300. Blue well is expected to improve cleansing of the pool itself. We're also going to organize the pool pump room. Remaining container of chlorine can be used for pool decontamination. Roger to follow up with Morgan from Blue Whale. Crepe myrtle trees surrounding the pool area to be cut back significantly and to be attended by Meadows Landscaping. Black algae is associated with larger trees surrounding the pool. Trees to be cut back to canopy to avoid long-term increase for pool maintenance resulting from tree detritus. Suggestion to add bulletin to sitting area at pool or at neighborhood entrance announcing pool improvements have been made and directing residents to the website for further details. Jen Fisher to pursue this. The expenses to be added to the budget. Light added to pool parking area. Ground was damaged in the process. Expected repairs to take up to 6 months. Cosmetic options include covering damaged area with pine straw or sod. Board vote to remedy with pine straw is unanimous. Water bill is excessive due to ruptured water line. Cobb County covered $3,400 in expenses for the bill. And we have social committee. Feedback from the pool party and egg hunt, they were both successes and would like to continue neighborhood social promotions. There was a suggestion to add a Christmas party to the list of social events. Sharon and Lisa on tennis committee motion that tennis courts should be used for tennis only. Motion was accepted. Vote to develop a notice for tennis court guidelines accepted unanimously. Tennis committee to handle reservations for tennis courts. Tentative date for upgrades to tennis court is at least 1 year out. Budget item analysis. We were over budget from total due to delinquent HOA dues that have since been collected. Security lights and power meter added to capital improvements due to time elapsing between necessary repairs. Kit will continue expense and budget management through Google Sheets, eliminating QuickBooks as it was determined that QuickBooks offers no discernible benefit. And items for the next meeting: carryover on punt replacement, tennis court resurfacing, library at the pool house, which I'm not sure how that's going to play out. The next meeting scheduled for the 15th at Switzer Library. So we since relocated.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Can I get a vote to accept the minutes as read? Jen has it. Aye, and seconded by Cole. Okay, we'll move right along. Our next issue is address old issues from previous meetings. And the way this agenda has been set up, previous meetings, everything is going to be handled as we go through this. And if there's anything missed, we'll come back to that. Mailbox maintenance. As everybody knows, I walk the neighborhood every day. And I notice I probably have one of the worst mailboxes in the community. So I'm addressing that. But I notice a lot of them are looking pretty bad. If we just talk to our neighbors, get them to dress them up, can of spray paint. We can go on the website here, and he's made a beautiful link. You can link to get the numbers to put on them. Just some of them look pretty bad. Some people have attempted self-repairs, and they don't look too well. So just talk to our neighbors and stuff. Hey, why don't you dress your mailbox up?
Can we send something out, whether it's putting something in mailboxes or putting something on the website, an email saying we're required, it's part of our covenant to keep up.
Yeah.
He has put out a soft note,
Right.
but then we decided to talk about it here, and then we'll go out with a more hard note to address it more firmly.
Is Matt still doing any of that, or no?
No, he might if
Yeah, I
I
was about to
ask
ask.
him.
He did ours.
He might. He's painting my outdoor furniture right now.
Oh, you're like, not until that's done.
No, I'm
Priorities.
kidding. But he might. He said he stopped doing that, but I'll ask him. Yeah, I think it's tough to ask your neighbors to paint their mailboxes. It's tough to ask them to cut their weeds.
Yeah.
I think it's better to give a note from the HOA.
Well, I don't mean it by
If we
going. I
have
don't-
that communication
Yeah.
method, why not use it?
And that's true.
Instead of having a confrontation with your neighbor.
Well, I just figured if it's a neighbor that you're real close to, but it's cool, no problem. But
No.
we'll get to no problem. I know both of my neighbors. We can talk about anything. I got Bianca and Mike on one side, Bianca and Brian and Mike on the other side, and we talk about lots. But I understand what you're saying, because some people get offended. And they
They've
take it the
never
wrong
done
way.
it. They've never even painted their house. So they're not going to paint their mailbox. And they don't cut weeds either. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Enough said.
Sorry.
You don't want to go out there with wood pile on and
Point well taken.
Use Roundup a couple of times on their property.
We can't give them one. We can't get one to even wash their house. But anyway, moving right along.
HOA to take action, is my opinion.
Moving right along. We had talked about doing Wi-Fi out here at the pool house for more reasons than one. Not just for personal reasons, but for I don't want to use the name I want to use on it, but that piece of mess over there on the wall there. And I'm gonna let Kit talk more on that because he's the one that really investigated. Bianca.
Yeah, so we had an issue with this. So we used to have a phone before I was even here. I'm gonna pass that over.
Okay, yeah.
So then we replaced it with this box because maybe teenagers were using the phone or whatever, so we replaced it with this. So when you press this button, it doesn't call 911. It calls Kings 3 emergency whatever, and they treat it as a 911 call, but then they are the ones who contact 911 from there and disperse ambulance or police or whatever needs to be done. And so what they told us, this thing stopped working, and when the phone stops working, they have to close the pool because it's required by law to have a working phone for emergencies at the pool, even though this day and age everybody's walking around with a cell phone. So, but for liability reasons, we had to close the pool. So the pool was closed for almost a week while they came out and replaced it. Well, in addition to that, I found out that after they finished replacing it, when I was talking to the guy, he started talking about he's replacing the SIM card now, and I'm like, SIM card? What do we need a SIM card for? Is it a cell phone? And he said, yeah, it is. And I said, well, in Georgia, Georgia state law is that you can't use cell technology for the emergency phone. And so anyway, they told me that they had a letter specifically from the Cobb County Board of Health that they could do this. And I was like, well, and he was supposed to produce that, and he never sent it to me. So now I'm concerned that we never were in compliance. But and what if we do have a letter from Cobb County Board of Health from the director, who maybe is not the director anymore? You know, then we get in trouble for that. So anyway, it probably is legitimate. But when I started looking to find something, because they told me they couldn't fix it for a week, I was like, well, our pool's going to be shut down for a whole week. Just because of this. And so they did try to get someone out sooner. They came out a couple of days sooner than they said. And so during that time, I was researching, calling AT&T, Comcast Business, different places, trying to figure out, hey, can we put a phone down here? And of course, they don't have landline phones anymore. They have Wi-Fi phones, which is still considered a landline phone in today's technology, I guess. So we could possibly, the problem is we don't have air conditioning of any kind here, so it gets really, really cold in the winter, it gets really, really hot in the summer. So there may be some ways around that. I've seen boxes that have fans on them and things that you put your router in and modem. So there may be ways around this that we can have. So if we're getting a phone, then I think we're already paying for Wi-Fi or for internet anyway. So it's a bundled package, and it would cost, to add the Wi-Fi to it, it would just be a little bit more than what we're paying for this, because this is like $55 a month or something like that. So we possibly could have both. Now the downside is they charge you like $200 and something initial installation or whatever. So you know, we'd have to eat that. But once we got it, we would have it, and we could have Wi-Fi. But the benefits of having Wi-Fi, if we're going to have the phone, then we have the Wi-Fi, is that you can do things like Wi-Fi enabled logs, security cameras, you know, lots of other things, you know, monitors on if we have water leaks, things like that. You can add all of that smart technology to it, and we can remotely monitor the things that are going on down here. So anyway, so that was just something I wanted to bring up, just that maybe we could research it a little bit more to see if we really could have it, and if it's worth the cost, if everybody was interested in having it here.
Have any feedback?
Was it you who said, or was it Jared? Somebody had said they heard another neighborhood or whatever had one, someone around here had one, and
What's me?
the box, you know, how do they keep it cool? And
Well, theirs is in a clubhouse.
oh, okay.
So it is it's climate controlled.
Okay.
So they don't have a problem with that. Again, they have all kind of stuff, like he was saying, cameras, everything. Addressing this right here, because we didn't know this until this thing broke, that we're supposed to test it monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Wouldn't that be the whole company?
It could be, but I took it on myself to do it. Okay, all you do is go down and push the button, and the guy talks to you, says this is so and so and so and so, and I say, yeah, I'm doing a test. He goes, okay, you're at 828 or at whatever Nile Bridge, something. I said, yes. He goes, okay, thank you, it works. Takes that long
And
to do.
that's a test that is required from the county?
No,
or
from
the
this company to
Phone
make
company.
sure it's working.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you said, you're talking to someone else, not 911. It's just like your home alarm. You know, you have it monitored through a company,
Right.
and they do. That's what it is. Anyway, because I walk every day, so first of the month I just boop. It takes me that long to do it, so I'll take that on myself and make sure that thing stays the way it's supposed to be.
Build a clubhouse. Then we've taken care of the, build a clubhouse right here, and
Yeah,
then we've taken care of the
I wish we
Wi-Fi.
could. I wish we could build a clubhouse. I tell you, I had just briefly talked to people about that. And to build a clubhouse, you have to have parking to counter everybody in the subdivision. I guess we could tear down a couple of people, the homes that don't comply with it.
Yeah, right. You guys already talked about putting the clubhouse on top of the tennis court.
On the tennis courts,
That we know.
yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, this is our tennis
Yes.
expert. Okay, this is our tennis person. She will fight, claw, kick,
Yeah.
anything
Don't
with a
mind, get
tennis
rid of our
court.
tennis courts.
And I don't blame her because she
You can
loves
put
it.
it somewhere else, get rid of the playground.
I was gonna say, yeah, right over there.
Don't get rid of the tennis court.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the Wi-Fi. Any other comments or suggestions or concerns about doing the Wi-Fi or further investigating it?
I would just ask other neighborhoods that don't have air conditioning, what do they do? You know, besides.
I don't know if they don't have it or not, I don't know.
Or John,
I know-
IT guru.
I know
Just
this
thought
little,
about that.
this little one
What
right
are your
here,
thoughts?
this is a hotspot for my Wi-Fi. And I use it in my RV. And in the compartment up there, it gets pretty hot. And it'll blink out. It'll say on there, too hot. And I'm like, I'm in the RV, it's not that hot. But that sun is coming right through that front windshield, and they're doing so. I know they're very heat receptive.
Yeah, I was just saying, I mean, I'm a tech guy too. I've got all the smart, my whole house is smart and enabled. It feels a little bit, well, I love the idea. It's just, it feels a little overkill for out here. And I would say to just do the bare minimum, whatever's required, just to, because unless we want to put cameras, but I thought that kind of stuff got shot down in the past of putting cameras around.
Well, the camera thing, I'm not gonna say it got shot down because we were all for it, but it kind of quieted down when we got all the lights.
It's not quiet. We were down here playing pickleball one night and we ran off 5 teenagers in a red Toyota Tacoma. The next night we were down here, we ran off a lady with her 7 kids and the dogs and stuff. She said, I've been coming here for 20 years and using your facilities. I was like, I don't care if you're not a resident, it's time to go. And she got a little crazy. So we need to do something about the safety here and the non-residents. That's what she said. She bragged about it. Yeah.
They've been here
I'm not,
20 years.
and
But
she
anyway.
got crazy. Like, we thought she was going to ram our cars. She got crazy. So we need to do something so we don't have to approach people. If they don't have a tag, if they don't have the sticker, then we're just going to call 911. Because confronting people, that's dangerous. That lady got cuckoo.
And I agree with you because we did talk about that one meeting. Don't confront people. I'm not gonna, I'm a man, I'm not gonna confront nobody. I'm calling 911 because they don't know what people do. They're crazy. But
then we need to do something like we said we were gonna do, like get tags or get stickers. We've got to do it. It's cheap. It's inexpensive. It's a cheap, easy, quick way to identify you're a Knobridge resident. And we asked the boys. We said, "Where do you live in here?" "Oh, we live on that street." "Well, what's the name of that street?
What's
they
your
don't
house
live
number
here."
and
We had to
who are
run
your
all of
neighbors?
them off. And they said they've been coming here on a regular basis, playing basketball, and they were clearly not all playing basketball. They were doing drugs.
well, I mean, I don't know what the
We need
base.
to keep those people out.
I'm going because I don't see them playing basketball ever. But
I mean, even
and
if
I
have
agree
to
with what you're
make the
saying.
stickers, I'll make the stickers and I'll be happy to hand them out.
But that does, and that brings up another concern. That does not stop people from coming. It lets you know who does not belong here.
Right.
If we put cameras up, right now, we do not have a way to monitor them. You know, because if you did the, for
We
example,
said we
if
were
you
gonna
did-
do a fake camera, and I even bought one, and then you guys declined me to put it up. It's still in my house.
and he's got some fake cameras.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first one to admit to you, that's just been nothing but procrastination and laziness. Because we've got the cameras. It's just that
We need to
the
put-
last meeting, it wasn't brought up, so I just let it be alone because when all the lights came on, I thought it had quieted down because I haven't heard anything. But if we put cameras, we do Wi-Fi, we do neon lights, everything, you're still going to have people here. Now, he and I just had a conversation about a week ago. We're going to put some signs, and we're going to try to get in the next year's budget at the entrance of the parking lot.
We have a sign, right? They just need to put it back together. Remember
There-
the old Knobridge sign?
Yeah,
that
there's
says
an old
residents
wooden
only?
one, yeah.
Okay, we're
Why
just
don't
going
we
to get
put
some
it
that was
together?
pleasing with the rest of the mailbox because it comes from the same company. We checked with towing. Okay, towing is a $300 a year application fee. Every time you call someone to come out and tow, we have to pay $150 as a dispatch fee. Okay? After he and I talked, we didn't feel we could really afford that because that could get quite expensive. Because just because you call them, you got to pay it. And that is their dispatch fee. And it has nothing to do with the towing of the car. You know, so that could get quite expensive.
But we need to do the bare minimum, you know.
I wonder how many cars you
Put a
have to tow
sign
before
out.
word got around that you shouldn't park here or your car's gonna be towed.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I know
To your point, like start small with just, I like the idea of the fake cameras and a sign at a minimum, just to see if that does anything. It may not, but just to at least see, it could help. In a cheap sense.
I will put the procrastination on the back ridge and I'll get the camera. Because he's got them, he ordered them from Amazon. And that was the reason we had told you no, not that we didn't want them, it's just that he had already got them. Yeah, so that's no problem.
Cost prohibitive for maintenance. and just initial installation, it was,
An arm gate to the pool area, I mean, we, you know.
But that, from what I recall, that had all kinds of problems. Like, there's not enough
Yeah.
room to get like a fire truck and stuff
Yep.
in there and all kinds of.
And it's quite expensive. The raised and lower gates. They're
there's things
it's
break
not just the
constantly.
gate.
It's the
It's the technology for everybody that needs to get in
It's
to
gotta be
get
a
open and closed.
combination, it's gotta be a combination of many different things, it's the stickers, it's the badges, and I know people say, yeah, but I don't want a sticker on my car, and I don't want this, well, I'm sorry, but this is the safety and keeping up the facilities of our neighborhood.
Or
You don't
just a
want it, I'm
tag.
sorry.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
Tag.
Well, it could be like, I don't think it has to be a sticker, it could be like the
Yeah,
handicap
that's
tag.
right.
It's handy, or
That's
put it on your
yeah.
dashboard. I just,
And the badges.
some means of identifying what's
Identify.
supposed to be done.
That
You
your
got a
car's
sign on the
supposed
gate
to
that
be
says
here.
like if you don't have a tag, your car will be towed. Even if you don't do it, just
Right.
right.
It'll make them think about it.
Who
right?
was
There's
doing the
nothing, and
tags?
It's like, oh,
I've got
Who was doing
all
the
the
tags?
creative before, remember at the beginning of the year? And I had sent them out, but didn't get any,
Yeah, I looked them up too, because the idea was you could also use them as, hey, I'm at the pool, here's my
Yeah.
tag, or whatever.
Cause
Yeah,
I've
so
got
that's
the
a good point. Like without any
badges.
signage, though, because there's some boys that live on this street down there, and I've seen them
I think-
dribble their basketball and they come in and play, which
Yeah.
I'm cool with. But unless there's a sign, someone could just say, "Well, I didn't know like
Yep.
it wasn't just a public park. Like how could they, you know?"
And Roger, you
have
make a
a
good
sign.
point. I mean, we're never gonna be able to completely
No,
curtail it, but making it more difficult
right.
would be, I think, wise.
and like you said, John, at least making it known that you're not supposed to park here unless you're, a resident, you know, you have a tag. And
You don't use our
this is
facilities
private,
without a tag.
private
property.
facilities, exactly, and unless you're a resident, you're not here.
See,
Because now they're tearing down more of our wood along that
Yeah,
fence.
there's three of them
Those
now.
kids that are coming through
Yeah.
are tearing down our fence to get through.
Mm-hmm.
my only,
So they're damaging our property too.
My only concern-
Come through, that's how they get it, that's, yeah. they've been
me.
doing that.
my only concern with the tags and the sign, and I mentioned this to Kip, we gotta really watch how we word stuff. If you say only residents park here, well, you're gonna get that person, and you know me, I'm a devil's advocate person. I try to bring up concerns to think about. You know, I don't really have a concern one way or the other, but I want to do what the majority wants to do. You have to watch how you word it, because you get that person who comes in and does a swimming pool party, and they see that sign, they say, well, my friends can't park here because it's for residents only. You know, like, okay, well, you can bring your friends in, but
And it
then,
says residents and their guests.
Well,
okay, but
And if
then,
you're,
but see,
if you're with a resident, then there's not.
but when you use the
That's
word
right.
guest,
Nobody's gonna
well,
get
they
anybody
said
who's
I could come over.
Right.
You know, that's what people think. You know, and I guess we just have to come up with a way to word it where we know what we want, how we want it. So it fits the criteria. A monitor guest or a guest that is being with a member of the board or of the subdivision, something like
for
that.
residents,
Maybe,
yeah.
accompanied or something.
Company, yeah, that'd be, because you have to be, you know. And then you get the situation where you have the swimming pool party. Well, I'm getting ready to go. Well, we want to stay a little longer in the pool. But some people allow it. Well, they're my guests. I let them stay down there.
But the rules are, in our rules,
I
in
understand.
Nobbridge rules, all guests must be with a resident,
I
period.
understand.
So
Any of our
don't
facilities.
make it all fluffy, just say this is
Sorry,
the
it's
rule,
very, yeah.
right?
Okay, I'm gonna go back to what you said. We can't get them to pay the mailbox. They're not gonna follow I mean, and I'm just using
It's not the
devil's advocate.
residents who are the problem, it's the people driving into the neighborhood.
But it's-
So
but
the
it's-
residents, you know, they're gonna do it, if their friend stays an extra 15 minutes, they're not on the playground smoking pot.
True.
It's people just driving in here, doing wrong stuff, that part about the residents,
Well,
I mean, that is.
Our biggest pot smoker is a resident,
Well,
and we caught him.
and his friends, I mean,
Yes.
there's that, but, you know.
Because I literally walked right there and caught them, literally. But anyway,
So they reach underneath the fence right there to open it from the outside?
no,
No,
but the person I know is a resident, okay?
Right.
Now you can reach underneath that gate or whatever, because kids do it all the time.
Right.
If you got a long arm, you can reach underneath that.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
that's pretty cool.
Wow, that's
So
My
we
daughter-
extended that fence
So
down?
I'm like, we need.
Has no idea.
Yeah.
I never, I would never.
And even,
So we extended that fence down then?
Well,
I never know.
can I get control, please?
Absolutely, yes.
Please.
Yes.
I mean, we only one person needs to talk,
Sorry, that was, I
regardless
never
of who it
even thought
is.
that could happen.
We had talked about some things with that gate. And I would like to see it happen, but it was voted against. And I would like to see a double lock gate. That way you can't reach around and do that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay? But they're expensive. I had some prices of some, and some worked off of a card. But those are really expensive. But we could just get the double, what's those locks called?
The push lock, I've seen it on both sides.
Yeah, the double one.
To in and out, to get out and to get in.
And that would stop that. Then we got the other gate, which cannot be opened from the outside, but someone can block it open.
I'm not going to put the means of unauthorized access in the minutes, but I will say that it's undesirably accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I recalled that came up in a past meeting where we talked about making it
Extending
it, but I don't know wherever it came up with that. But that's a pretty cheap fix, just to put a piece of mesh,
Yeah,
metal
it's
mesh,
like
just to
mesh.
lower it.
Well,
Yeah,
And that is,
when we first moved into this subdivision, there was no mesh. And that's how that mesh got there, because it was totally uncontrollable.
Yeah, I mean, technically, they could just take a stick or whatever and just kind of pull up on it because it's not a round handle, you know.
Yeah, you get a
can kinda
hanger,
grab
even if you put
something.
mesh. I think the double lock would suffice. I had the prices of them, 'cause I brought it up and it got voted out, and we can bring it up again. Because I think I still have stuff at house.
Every neighborhood I've been, now that I think about it, they all have that.
Yes.
double lock.
In
You need
and
a card to
out.
get in and out. Yeah.
The card access, those locks are in the,
Combo lock or whatever.
with the card access, those locks are in the thousands. They're extremely expensive. And again, they work through the Wi-Fi because you can have a person that can control it. So if someone moves out, you can lock their key out. You can do all types of things with them. Cipher lock, that's what they're called. But I will take on my own to get the price of the cipher locks for just a double cipher lock and installation on it. And I'll get that out to the board and it'll be put on the website. And then we'll make a vote on that to go ahead and get those installed. Because the double cipher lock will not let them do that, what you just did.
And then we need to change it monthly.
So how does that work exactly, the double lock?
It has push buttons on both sides.
Oh, I see.
So the code is the same on both sides, but you have to have a code to do
So
it
you
from
can't
both
reach
sides.
under it.
Okay.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Even if you had really long arms, you'd have to be able to see what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And that goes to
Impossible stuff.
that goes to the thing of the criminal's going to do something, they're going to do it. You can't stop it.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're dealing with those type of criminals out here. So the Wi-Fi, I guess we're going to kind of just rest on that, but we will check on the double cipher locks. Is that correct? Okay, let's move on. The next thing is pool committee. We really don't have a pool committee per se. I've been addressing a lot of problems down here at the pool. When I get the emails, I come down here and see what's going on and stuff. Since we had the trees removed or cut back, we've lost the black algae. So that was our culprit of that.
And it may have been mostly the crepe myrtles, just because we missed a fall, winter when we normally cut them back and we didn't, and so they grew larger than they normally had. Because we got the regular leaves, I mean, they're going to come off those trees. We hadn't cut any big trees down.
Right.
Shade that was creating the mulch. Or
It's a
No,
combination,
the
yeah.
dropping, from what I'm understanding from pool people, the algae leaf is one of the worst because it doesn't float, it goes to the bottom. And it can really harm stuff, and that's probably what it stained the bottom of our pool.
Yeah, the
also.
crepe
Crepe
myrtle.
myrtle.
Oh, crepe myrtle, I'm sorry, what did I say?
Yeah.
Oh, so the falling into the pool
Yes.
is the problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we cut those back, we'll keep those cut back.
Because they had those flowers on them and everything.
That's what it is, the flower.
And also the other thing, talking to my friend who's an arborist, he was saying it's not necessarily even the leaves, it may be the residue from insects that's on the leaves that get in there.
I think my personal opinion is the pool company was not maintaining the pool.
That's what
I was here, I'm just
Go
gonna
ahead.
tell you, I was here when that black mold was all the way around the pool. And there's absolutely no reason why that got to that bad if it was being maintained.
That's right.
I had to draw his attention to it. The guy who was servicing the pool was like, what? Huh? What? He got there and he's like kind of mooing. Then his manager came and he was trying to scrub it, gave him some special stuff. The guy who was maintaining it, he didn't even have, a bathing suit on. He's trying to scrub. He didn't even know he should be scrubbing. Took him an hour and a half. He finally jumped in the pool. I've seen him down here with a homemade igloo cooler thing. It's not even attached to any kind of pump. I honestly believe they were ripping us off because the guy who was maintaining the pool, I'm not kidding you, a red and white igloo cooler with the top that goes like this. It was like a homemade thing.
They do.
He was
So
using like
I-
a scrub.
Yeah, and his pole mustn't be long enough to meet the middle of the pool. It's that, what the shape of the pool this summer was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm a pool person, and I didn't want to go in the water. I had people here and they're like, wow, what's going on with your pool? Who have been coming here for 17 years. It was horrible. I was down here Labor Day weekend, the water level was down, the baskets hadn't been, there's no way. They had been dumped. They wrote on that thing in there that they were here.
We've seen the
3
pool company
times.
come here, walk in for a few seconds, not
And
even a
leave.
minute.
Oh, they
and
wrote
leave.
down, I
When
went
we're
in the
playing
pool
pickleball,
house.
we see them come, write their name in that little board in there, and then
And
they
leave.
leave and they don't do anything.
They had 3
And that's not
days
acceptable.
down for the
We're paying
Saturday
them big money.
before Labor Day, and there's no way. Those baskets were full with dry
Yeah.
leaves.
They're not doing their
Well,
job.
and that,
Okay,
and
let me,
that's the thing, how.
let me address something.
And they didn't even, I'm honestly,
Okay, let me say
there's
something.
no way that mold should have been like that. It
Let
was
me-
being maintained correctly with chemicals and maintenance.
Okay, let me say this. I'm not disagreeing with any of you on all the complaints. I do know I have had conversations with the owner of the company. We have fallen out on the phone. One incident you're talking about was the Labor Day. This was the past holiday. Because I got an email.
Yeah, it was me.
Okay. And I came down and I looked. I said, no, this ain't right. So I called him while I was here and I took pictures of it. And he said, Roger, my pool guy just left there yesterday. It can't be that way. I said, Morgan, I'm going to send you pictures. I sent him pictures. That was Saturday because he said the guy been here Friday. He had the guy out here Sunday. He told me at 10 o'clock.
And he did have.
Let me finish, please. I came down here at 10:05. They had not been here yet. I called Morgan again with pictures again. About 10:45, 11, they were here. And they did do a good job at that time because I stood right here with them. That's how I know.
But you shouldn't have to do
I'm-
that.
I'm-
They should do their job.
Let me
We should
finish.
hold their check back. I want to say something.
Okay,
This
but-
should be an interactive
I know, but I haven't
conversation.
finished. Just let me finish,
I
please.
know, but I'm just saying, they're doing a terrible job. Katie's right. We've seen it. They come in and they write their name on the board and they leave. They don't do anything.
Okay, and
They
I'm-
don't even walk down there.
Okay,
So
and I'm
something
not
needs to be
disagreeing
done.
with you.
Either
Okay,
You come.
Cut back on their check, get their attention.
okay. And I'm not disagreeing with you.
Now, they're fired.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. The season has come to an end. We're waiting for them to put the pool cover on. I don't have a problem with getting another pool company. Okay? Now, the owner was after we sometimes argued, he was receptive to getting things done. Again, I shouldn't have to do that. I agree. Now, I have been looking back at different notes that Jared had brought up. This pool, every company we've had has been horrible. No one has been, nobody has been a
This is the
good.
worst ever in 20 years.
It still is gross.
Yeah.
The scum on the bottom never gets vacuumed up. This homemade vacuum isn't vacuuming it up. It's
Okay, so what is the suggestion?
First of all, I'm asking everybody to let me finish.
Hold
I
your
let
check.
you guys talk, I let you finish. I agree with you. I'm not going against you. I agree with you. We're at the end of the season. Okay? We're going to get the pool cover, I think he said 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, I'm trying to get this one issue out about the pool, which is not his concern, it's not his fault. We think we have a pool leak. having a pool leak is one reason you get all the dry leaves in the skimmers, because it's leaking down, and if it leaks down over a period of time, the leaves are falling in this fall period. They're coming out every 3 or 4 days. Bam, it's going to do it.
Who assessed it? The same pool company
I'm
that's not
sorry?
doing their job? Who assessed the pool leak?
You can look at it. It's leaking down, but because we're putting so much
Let's call a
water.
professional out and have it.
Okay, again, if you let me go through the whole thing, I'm going to give you all that information.
Sorry,
Okay.
I like to cut to the chase.
Well,
Already.
but if I cut to the chase, I'm not giving you all the information.
Okay.
Okay, I have called a leak detection company up to come out. Okay, it's $1,500 just to look at it and find out where the leak is. It's $1,500. Okay, so after me talking to some other pool people, they said turn the equipment off and let it leak down, because it's going to leak down to where the leak is. That's the process we're in right now. Okay, it has been off since Monday. I think it's leaking right to the bottom of the skimmers. I don't see it going down because it was all the way up to the top of the 3. That's a lot of water within a week.
Is that, it was up to the top of the 3 a
Yes.
week ago?
Oh, Monday.
And it's not evaporation with the heat?
That's
impact?
not that much.
Okay.
Go you go on the internet and you
Does
read.
it have an autofill?
No, we do not have an autofill.
It does?
I thought it
No,
had an auto something on it.
No, it does not. It has a valve that you can adjust to 4 hours, 5 hours, or 6 hours, or put it on manual. It stays on until you turn it off.
Most pools have autofill.
But we don't. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I didn't build the pool, I didn't engineer. We don't. So, Kid and I have been talking. We're gonna see how far it leaks down before the cover gets here. Then we can call a leak detection company and say, okay, this is where the leak is, and hopefully alleviate some of the price of the $1,500 just to find the leak. So that's the process we're in. The pool is closed. I don't have a problem. I've told the kid I've gotten 2 or 3 emails from other pool. I don't have a problem with getting another pool company. If that's what you guys want to do, that's your problem. I have no problem with that. I do know cutting the trees has curtailed or stopped the black algae because it's not there. There's a stain in the bottom of the pool. We cannot address the stain until you empty the pool, because we have put acid in the pool and it didn't get rid of it. So the pool has to be empty.
It needs to be vacuum, with a real vacuum. It's all loose.
No, there's a stain in the bottom of the pool that I have emails where people are complaining to me. There's a stain in the middle of the pool. Roger, when are we gonna get the stain removed? That's not leaves, that's a stain.
Roger,
Yes, ma'am.
did you or Kid, did anyone reach out to, I know you said Kid, the 42,000 or whatever that we paid Nautix. Has anyone talked to Eric or whatever?
I've talked to Nautix. Nautix does not do pool leak detection or anything.
No, but when we had them resurface the pool.
Their leak was what they call the bulkhead. I talked to Eric.
Their leak.
The leak that they fixed was not in the pool.
Oh,
It
we
was a-
didn't resurface the, I thought they resurfaced the pool.
Let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
They fixed the leak. But the leak that they fixed was not in the pool. It was in the pump room.
Right?
That's the leak that got fixed. There was no leak there. We got resurfaced, yes,
Yeah,
but
I
there was no
wasn't,
leak.
I wasn't concerned about the leak being fixed. I was saying we had the pool resurfaced.
Yes.
So if we have the pool resurfaced and there's a leak, shouldn't there be some kind of a warranty on the
No,
resurfacing of the pool?
because a leak could be the pipes.
Oh, you're not
Resurfacing-
saying a leak in the pool? Because we
The
had a crack in the
skimmer
pool.
is in the pool.
Right.
But skimmer could have a leak that has nothing to do with resurfacing.
Right.
Okay? You could have a leak in one of your lights that has nothing to do with resurfacing.
I apologize, because when
No,
we
no,
had the
it's
problem
finished.
before and we were losing water, we had a crack in the pool and that was the leak that they came and fixed because they had to resurface the
Okay,
pool.
now-
That's what I thought.
Okay,
you
this
were
is the
referring
first time I'm hearing about that. How long ago was that?
That was the Nautix thing that I was talking about, when we had it, that's what I'm saying, call Eric Noreen.
Okay, Eric, I did call Eric. He told me, Roger, no, there was a leak in the pool room.
Okay, if you had talked to him about a leak,
I did.
then, right, but that's what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying? My misunderstanding was when you said a leak, if you said to him a leak, he may have thought that. He's not thinking about when they resurfaced the pool, because
Well,
we
but
had to drain the whole pool
I remember
that
that.
year.
I asked him,
Okay, well,
where was the leak that you repaired? And that's a broad question.
Yes.
He said, Roger, that was the bulkhead. I said, well, what's the bulkhead? He said the bulkhead had a crack. I said, what's the bulkhead? He said, that's where the pipes go into the filters.
Okay.
He said that was cracked and that had to be repaired. Now, I don't know if there's misunderstanding of that, what you're talking about, or that. I don't know. I'll call him again and get more on that.
That's what I'm thinking, the Nautics thing, because if it was 4 or 5 years ago that they just resurfaced the pool, I would think there's gotta, if that's something down here. If the leak is in the baskets or whatever, that's something different. If it has something to do with the resurfacing of the pool and it wasn't done correctly or is breaking down again,
When was that?
when was that we paid it?
The invoice for 2015.
So that's the question.
actually
and
on
I
the
don't-
last
Nautics did not do any of that work.
Well, that's what I was
They
saying.
contracted it out.
Right,
Because all they do is maintain pools.
right. When you had said Nautics, I was like, oh, they did the pool?
No.
And-
But Nautics did repair that leak on what they call the bulkhead of the filter. They did do that
We
first.
need to find out who did the resurfacing and,
But the, again, I'm going on this commercial because all this is commercial. We'll check it out, no doubt. I'm not saying no. I just don't think a commercial warranty is going to last over maybe 2 or 3 years because they kill us with commercial. I even tried to get the pool leak thing on a residential, because it's in a residential area. They charge by the hour
Yeah.
for residential. But here, it's $1,500 flat fee, and they can find the leak in 10 minutes.
Yeah, one of those lights is loose.
It has nothing to do with the looseness of it.
If
What
you
you
were
have
saying
is you have a cord that goes in the back of the light, and it goes through a hole through the wall of the pool, and there's epoxy in there. And yet you take the light out, and the wire's long enough to put the light on the deck there. That's how you change the light bulbs in. And then once you take the light out, you get some epoxy and you repack that hole.
Okay.
That's what stops the leak. It has nothing to do with how tight it is or anything.
Right, I'm just saying that one of those lights are.
Okay. And
is
but
that where you think it is though? It's not anything else.
it's nothing in there because you would see the water on the floor in there.
Exactly.
Now I've had the pool off since Monday. I went in there. I started it up Thursday. We do have a leak now in there, but it's off, so it's not leaking in there
Right.
because the pumps aren't running. And I told Morgan about it. He said, no problem, I'll be able to fix that for you. But right now, I'm concerned a leak actual in the pool,
Right.
whether it be the pipes or whatever. And I'm trying to work it the least expensive way for us to look out for our money. Because we don't have $1,500 to throw out, and then you might have to spend $2,000 or $3,000 to get the repair done once they find out where the leak is. And that's what I'm just trying to work the money. Just like I would try to work in my household, get the most for the biggest bang. That's what I'm trying to do
I'd
with
be
it.
curious to know, excuse me, what was included in the resurfacing.
Okay,
If
well-
they resurfaced, did that have anything to do with the basket areas? You know, because I
No.
thought they replaced the tiles.
What they
didn't
did, I remember going to that meeting. That was one of the few I went back then. They did a special coating on the pool. This is a good night pool.
Mhm.
They put the,
An additional layer of
Plaster,
it's a special name for it because it makes it beautiful, more
Right,
beautiful.
Right.
pebble sheen, pebble.
Pebble Tech. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
It was Pebble Tech. Now all that is just like plastering your home. It has nothing to do with pipes. It has nothing to do with the baskets.
Right.
It's just the surface.
Just on the thing.
Right.
that's what I was-
You could take the good night out of that pool, and it would not leak because that's not what secures it. It's the compound behind all that is what's keeping it from leaking. Okay. As far as unless it's a crack, of course.
Right,
and that's
which
we'll
is
do.
what we had. We had a crack in the
Okay.
base of the pool. Which
All the paperwork that he has shown me, I haven't seen anything about a crack in the pool. I'm not saying it wasn't there, but I haven't seen it. I remember we got it resurfaced. I didn't know what was the reason for getting it resurfaced. But the tile, that was all new. That has nothing to do with the pipes,
Right.
okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If it's a leak in the skimmer, you can epoxy around the inside the skimmer. If the skimmer is cracked in a bad way, you have to cut the concrete and put a new skimmer in. So it all depends on just how bad the leak is. That's the main thing about the leak in the pool. Now, again, I wasn't trying to really drop. I wanted to make sure everybody understands everything that we have done, and we're on it. I mentioned the kit. I said I did not have a problem with rehiring the pool company we have because Morgan is receptive. But if you guys don't, I don't have a problem with that either. It doesn't, because I'm not the one that's going to vote on the new person. you know,
Worst
I
it's
do.
looked in 20 years.
Okay, and I don't have a problem with that.
That
When
would
we
be
get
my
ready to
vote.
open the
My
pool,
vote's no.
and I know when we open the pool up, we'll get 4 or 5 more estimates. And unlike this time, before we accept it, we'll bring the people to a meeting. Explain to us what you're going to do or not going to do so everybody knows.
Right.
Because this guy cleaned 3 times a week. All the other pool companies clean twice a week.
No, he walked in, he signed his name, and he
Okay.
left many times.
I'm just going about okay, and see, those are the things that you didn't bring to our attention so I could call. If I don't know though, if you saw the guy come in and sign and leave, Roger, I'm emailing this guy came and signed, oh, let me call Morgan. Because Morgan is very responsive to me answering the phone with me. Now, and I've had some arguments with him, but he's always corrected or did what I asked him to do.
Well, and maybe
Now,
that's what
Nodix,
we need to do.
last year, I had a hard time getting in touch with Nodix. I'm not saying we can't use them again, because you got Nodix, you got Sears, you got all kind of pool companies out there. And I could care less if we have 3 pool companies at one time, as long as you guys are happy.
You know, Chris,
Because it's your guys.
in pools. I wonder if he could recommend a few companies.
Who's that?
My wife's uncle.
Sure.
He's a contractor. He builds pools, and I'm sure he can make some recommendations.
Yeah, and it's, like I said, as long as you guys are happy, because you guys pay money to this subdivision, and that's the main thing. It's not about me.
And it hurts our property values.
Yes.
If people are looking
Right.
to sell or buy, or it really hurts our property value.
Well, and maybe that's what we need to do is make sure that, you know, if we're gonna get badges and hang tags and all that stuff, that we let the residents know that if you notice something, if you see
Let's
something.
let them know about it.
Please. Email the board.
I don't be on the subdivision email every day, but I do see an email come through, and I do reply. Like I reply to yours. I do reply. Because as soon as I reply to you, I walk right down here on the phone with Morgan. So I'm not sitting back doing nothing. Believe me. I take the pool.
We're not blaming you. We're saying it's
But what I'm saying is I'm taking your concerns.
Yeah.
I really am. Because you have to come down here and be happy. You want to bring your kids down here. They say the algae is no harm. Well, I wouldn't want to put my child in that pool with the algae, even though it's no harm. Because it just doesn't look fun. And I agree.
Anything we can do
Disgusting.
about the ants.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta spray, it's, yeah.
Well, you know, I'm not trying to be negative, but this is at Georgia Clay. When it rains, you're going to get them red ants.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Every time we come down in
They're
general,
everywhere.
when you
Everywhere.
sit on the seats, when you sit here, there's so many ants.
Yeah.
It's a little
I've
bit.
had
Well, we might
ants
wanna-
climbing on me since we sat down.
Really?
And when we play pickleball, there's ants all over the place.
All right,
The
so
ants are all over the
the
pickleball.
ants are
Pick 'em
coming
up.
from the trees.
And we need
Right.
to spray,
Well, the red ants
right?
come from the,
Don't we have a spray
They're
company?
all, these are.
And spray the ground.
Somebody
Exactly.
I've
not the
never
trees.
seen it this bad. I'm just saying. We
You
need
think
to
the
make sure
you
they're
think the
really
heat
spraying.
you think the heat and well they're not spraying for insects, they're spraying for the grass with the weeds and stuff. And maybe we need to hire someone to spray the trees and stuff. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe.
You know,
There's not even any trees over there by the.
I know ants. Are they red ants?
They're big.
Yeah,
They're
they're
huge.
big.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're red,
When you
black,
sit anywhere
black
here.
carpenter ants.
Yeah.
I know the red ants come from the ground.
We need to spray.
And you- Maybe we need to look into getting a spray company. I think that's best done at the beginning of the season, true or false.
I think it has to be done periodically. You
Yeah.
do it one time, then you do it again in a 2 or
Well,
3
and those
months.
big
All right.
ones, I was just
What
saying,
did you
because
say?
Jen was saying I'd rather have.
I just think it's one, I mean, the
ants
ants are
chemicals.
irrelevant if we don't want to swim in the pool. So I think the larger issue is the condition of the pool. We can deal with the ants
It's
later.
Okay.
It's a combination, 'cause whenever we come, it's like you got the ants if you're sitting here and then you had the leaves, so it's the combination. But it wasn't, sometimes you just wanna go lay out if you didn't wanna get in the pool. And it's laying out, and it's the
Yeah.
ants that were just on every seat in the ground, so.
I wonder.
Now that we've got the trees cut back, I wonder if
They
the
were
spray
still-
could, well, no, if they could spray around the outside,
Sure.
around the wall and
Okay.
stuff to barrier it, yeah, I think
Sure.
that would help, and then we can do our metal signs, like if we're gonna do out there, or whatever, or our PVC signs that please clean up, you know, food and everything.
Yeah, that's what I was
ants,
gonna
you know,
say.
all those things.
I've come down here a couple times and there's
Well,
bottles and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
sweetness is going to attract ants. So we can do that too. We'll go ahead and
Thanks,
I
Gabe.
will investigate into getting it sprayed, the area, and I'll get some examples, or not examples, but some suggestions from them. Do you do it in the wintertime, springtime, how often you should do it over the year? And I'll get 2 or 3 companies and look into that. I'll do that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next item. The pond committee. Just so everybody knows, tomorrow we are scheduled to get our new pump at the pond. So we'll be back up to 3 sprays. It was a mistake that we thought there was 4 lights on each pump, but it's actually only 3 lights on each pump. So I believe it's not that there's a burned out bulb, it's just there's only 3 on each pump. We did have to get the pump, a new pump. We couldn't get it rebuilt. They were going to rebuild it, but then they wouldn't warranty it. So Mr. Fielder, who's basically the pond committee guy, he said, well, let's just replace it. And then replace it, to totally rewire it because it's wired differently. So I don't know if that's a day job they have to do or how they do it. But that is going to be back up.
Price on that was like about $5,000.
It was about $5,000.
And we've already paid like $1,200.
Yeah, we paid half of it, or a third of it.
That's the one thing you won't see in my financials is I didn't know how much that was going to be to forecast for it.
So that's supposed to be done tomorrow. Social committee. First of all, I want to say thank you. The Easter thing was outstanding. We had a little ice cream thing down here. It was a really short notice, but you understand that was really nice.
Did you arrange that?
No, it's Jared.
Jared arranged it. Yeah, that was very nice.
We had the pool party.
And the pool party.
Did you get a kid?
So, and now we're, I guess we get ready to do the yard sale.
Right, so yard sale, and I've been working with different people. I'll give you more details. I'm just solidifying that, hopefully by tonight. Looks like it's going to be the 11th and 12th of October. And Cole, I need to talk to your wife because I know y'all are gone, or she's not able to do that one. She needed the other weekend. So I think what we're going to do is, because there's some families that want to do it at their house and others that have just little bits of stuff and want to come together. So I think my neighbors have said they'll do the group one in our cul-de-sac. So we'll figure that out, and I need to talk to Kit about maybe $150 if we've got it. If not, I'll be paying for it, whatever. I want to do some permanent banners that, like a 3x4 or 4x5 foot banner that says Knobridge Community Yard Sale, Friday, Saturday, whatever, 8 to 3, that we can use twice a year or 3 times, whenever we're doing it. And then have the signs.
I thought the last meeting we already approved you to make some signs.
We were making the signs for here.
That was for announcements for the.
Right. And then last time I heard we were holding off because we were waiting to find out, which is the only reason I didn't go ahead, was what signs we were gonna do for down here.
Okay.
And I think that was Kit and I needed to get with him on language and stuff, and that's my bad, I didn't finish up with that.
Okay, then. So yeah,
But we'll do signs so they can be utilized every year, and yep, we'll put them out front. I'll put on the corners also, which is what we usually do, and then I'll have arrows through the neighborhood, and I'll go to the dollar store in my pocket and get balloons for each of the mailboxes, so.
Well, I'm gonna put a motion on the floor then to go ahead and spend the monies to get the signs made. And let's go ahead and get them made, because I think the ice cream social would be a lot better if we had some signs out or something. But everybody reads emails every day. I think that'd be a lot better.
What was your estimate, 100?
Well, if we're doing the other one, yeah, I'd say probably.
Let's say 200.
250,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
let's say 200. So I'm gonna put a motion on the floor that we spend $200 to get signs made for different occasions.
And these are like year after year.
Yes,
Okay.
so we'll do them as generic as possible, like our HOA event or HOA meeting, however you want to do that, or there's an update. I think we can do 2 or 3 of those different ones and just alternate those. Obviously weatherable, and then our yard sale ones, yeah, absolutely. They'll be generic enough that it's a Friday, Saturday, so if somebody can't do a Friday, they just set up on Saturday.
Great.
And maybe you should just say Knobridge garage sale, so if somebody wants to have a single garage sale, they could still use the same sign. You know what I mean? Like, because me personally, I don't like to get in on the neighborhood garage sale because I make more money
Right, doing
not
your own,
on the neighborhood
exactly.
garage sale.
Good with that.
So it would be nice to use those signs since we're all paying for them, So if it just said Knobridge garage sale
Or
Friday,
yard sale.
Saturday, or,
Yard sale, yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
that'd be better, instead of community. Let's just leave that community part out. Does that sound okay?
Okay.
So we can all
You
use
can put
it?
it up there and you can still
And
put
it's,
that.
and we need it, not just for,
Yeah.
not just for the yard sales, but we had talked about signs for other things also.
Right, right.
So, I put a motion on the floor that we vote that we spend up to $200 for your, signs of different nature.
Okay.
You got how many board members? 1, 2, 3, 3 board members. Yeah, you're the board, right? You're good with the ARC.
Ooh, you can
Not
work.
on board.
Yeah, he's on the ARC committee.
Other
So we got all yays anyway. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, oh yay, just a yay.
Okay.
Yes.
We got all yays.
If
no
it
nays.
matters.
Okay, so we got that taken care of. And on the signs, because of the price, Kid said we was gonna put it in the next budget to get the signs for the parking lot, because he wanted it to be aesthetic to the mailboxes and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that.
mailbox
Nice.
company, classy mailboxes,
They make-
addresses, and just, they make, so our stop sign, for example, matches our, it's encased like it's an
Oh, you're saying
iron
the
looking thing.
holes.
Yeah, so it's,
Oh,
but it also
okay.
has
Right.
the
things-
placement of the sign and everything, it's the whole thing.
How
much is it?
I have to look, it might be like $800 or something, but.
Okay, I mean, my question is, why can't we just use the one that's in there and fix it? You know what I mean?
Well, I
'Cause
think
it
these
looks
would be
good.
metal, that's wooden, and that's why that was
Oh.
broken.
Okay.
That one I think used to be right there, didn't it?
It was right there on the corner of,
Like
as soon as you
on
pull
wooden
in.
poles?
Right
It's
on the edge,
huge,
right?
yeah, it said residents
Yeah.
only.
It's in the pool house there.
I
I
can
mean,
repaint, we can
I think
easily
instead
get
of
it repainted
spending
and stuff, but you
800.
know what, well,
I'll tell you what, let's do it this way. Let's find out what the price is for it.
Yeah.
And then if it's exorbitant amount, then we'll put out, anybody want to help get together and repair this sign, and then we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay?
Not that I'm against it, I just think 800 is a lot. And we already have a sign. And if we're not gonna use that sign, then let's just chunk it in the garbage. Stop talking about it.
Yeah, because it's taking up space.
Well, it also,
Right.
if it's not what we want to say on the sign, that's already has what it says on the sign.
Right, I think it says
members
residents
only or something.
Residents, yeah.
We want to get on there towing.
Yeah,
Even though
we
we
were
might not
saying-
be able to tow, but we want to put that verbiage.
Yeah,
We
we-
will be
Tow your
towed.
stuff.
Because we've had a
We
vehicle
wanted,
parked out here for over a week.
I don't know, man. I really believe that it wouldn't take that many tows to reduce.
But we can't tow it. We can't have it towed. You have to have a towing company, and you got to pay $300 a year plus the
But even
$150.
if we called one time, if like me as a resident called one time and
You
said
go and do it
there's
in your
this
private
car
property.
That is true.
You can't do it. Just like,
I know a tow
You know,
company.
just like this is private property to police, county, whatever. This is considered private property.
Right.
But it's not a private property like a residence where you could call. Okay, so you
The
can't even
contract
really.
with the towing company is actually, you have a list of
It's
people
the
that can
neighbor.
call. It can't be just anybody in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
but anybody can call and request increased patrols. And-
You can
and
increase
they have to-
patrols.
They have to document that.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
anything control to the police and stuff like that. But like I said, that car, I think it had Alabama license plate.
Did
Yeah.
we ever find out who it was?
No,
Just disappeared one day.
That's,
Just disappeared.
it's almost like this is like an area where people from, maybe they're coming from Alabama and they're headed this direction and they're like, hey, where can I park my car and carpool with so-and-so that
Yeah.
lives in that area, and they just park over here and then take
that,
off.
I mean, that happens
That's what I'm saying.
frequently.
And
One
the
time,
thing
one
is,
tow, I think, word gets out.
yeah, she said we can't do it unless we're going to vote to spend all the money to do it.
What about,
But you just cannot call a towing. They won't come out.
what about, they lock the wheel, the boot?
You gotta.
Yeah, there's a new law about all that.
You really get into that because if that car gets damaged by that, because those are outside
Oh, yeah.
companies, that really gets big there. But again, you got to pay those people to come out here and sit, because they'll sit in that parking lot. When someone drives in park, they're going to question them. They're going to put that thing, but you're going to pay them to be here.
Yeah, and they changed the laws on, I looked that up too, the boots. They changed that last year.
I tell you, nothing is
Maybe
cheap.
some of these really bad kids that are out there smoking dope, we can just pay them like $20 to go let the air out of their tires.
I was thinking that same thing. I was like,
But you know, on the bad thing of a bad thing of
I'll
the
take that
parking.
job.
I know, I might.
And I know
there's
you're
no
gonna-
Cameras out here, nobody's gonna see me anyway.
Exactly.
You're gonna like what I'm getting ready to say. The
Okay.
bad part of what the people park, they always want to park the closest to the tennis court.
Yeah.
I know, so
And that should be for the people playing tennis.
No, but they do that so they're not seen. So
Well,
they're-
we
so
know
they
that, but
are not seen, but yeah.
but it's seen when you walk.
Mhm.
So anyway,
Steps
we got the social
sign,
committee
fake
together
it.
with
We
that.
start somewhere.
Yes.
And we're gonna go and get the signs made, and you're gonna get with me and Kit when you got everything together.
Yeah.
Today, I've got
Okay.
the video, I'll put it up today.
Can we,
I have
Halloween.
screws and a
can we go ahead and move on,
screwdriver.
please?
Yeah.
Yep, we'll do Halloween still.
Whatever you guys decide, you're the social committee, whatever you decide.
Yeah.
We support the social committee.
It's fine.
Yeah. Tennis committee,
And then there's
use of the tennis court, we did at our last meeting. At our last meeting, we did decide on, and we voted on, the tennis court is for tennis court projects, whatever only. So there's no outside use of the tennis court, nobody coming in there to run around laps, it's for tennis only.
Yeah. Court activities only. So pickleball.
Yeah,
or
that's some tennis activity to me.
court. Okay, yeah.
Whatever y'all doing that thing.
Okay.
It's like whatever
But
y'all doing.
no, no speed and agility.
No,
No,
that's out.
No
Yeah.
leaning up against the fence
No,
every day.
unless you're doing it because you're in there playing tennis,
Yeah.
but not just for that.
Sounds
I was really devil's advocate with you on that. You had that long text going on that one night, but because I just was not aware. And then I went and talked to some other subdivisions, and they do the same thing. It's for tennis only.
Yeah, because they're expensive to replace.
So, with that being said, for next year's budget, there's two things that's going to really come up. One of them is going to be this tennis court, because we got to get some monies together, whatever, how we're going to do it, because this thing needs to be resurfaced. Okay? Now, we've been really light on the swimming pool. Hopefully it's going to stay light. We'll see what this leak is going to cost us. Because I've emphasized, and I've done this in front of you, the time we put in the pool, we should put into the tennis court also, because it's part of the subdivision. If we're going to resurface the pool because it's bad, we should resurface the tennis court also. And the tennis court is, what is it, every 10 years? 5 years?
Oh, to resurface, it depends on how you do it.
Okay,
so
we
if
went
you
through that
spend $4,000 to resurface, then it's only going to last or be guaranteed or have a warranty for a year. If you spend $10,000 to resurface it, it'll be good for 5 years. If you redo the whole court, it would be $20,000, but you'd also get a much longer period.
Okay.
So,
I still have that page that you sent them, so
yeah, we got 3 estimates already to
Yes,
have
you
it
did.
resurfaced, so we have a good,
Yeah.
selection of companies to choose from. And we've already had complaints from some of the neighbors about the safety of those cracks because they're getting bigger and bigger.
Are they?
And especially with little kids down there playing, they're practicing every Thursday night, I guess. It's more of a safety issue for little kids than it is for us with big tennis shoes.
Does anybody know if they're still using it for football drills?
No.
No, they
I
stopped.
talked to Tim about that, and he
With
ceased.
company.
All right.
He ceased doing that as soon as I talked to him. I think he did it, once or twice, Tim was down there?
Yeah. Okay.
But he ceased that.
It's called
Just didn't know how
Armor.
prevalent
I have
that
a
was.
question though. Is there an underlying problem? Those cracks seem awful big. I played out there a few times, but like, is there something broader that you just keep resurfacing them? Is that the idea?
So there are multiple options. The life of a tennis court is usually 20 years, and we're at 20 years. At 20 years, they recommend you to completely redo it. It's just like your driveway, right?
Yeah.
Your driveway, my driveway's lasted 20 years. It's got some cracks, and it probably needs to be touched up. I touch it up myself, and then but anyway, back to the tennis court. There's another option we haven't done yet, which is to resurface it with armor. It's called armor coating, and it's just like a special thick layer that they guarantee for, I think it's 4 or 5 years. So I think that's what we should do this time. It's a little more money, but it's not redoing the whole court. It's not tearing up the whole thing. And
But
would that
you're saying
get-
soon
just
we'll have to do that.
But would that get rid of the humps?
yeah,
Would it-
especially if we had teams still.
Would that get rid of the humps?
Yeah, we get rid of the hump.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll get rid
So
of the
that's
humps.
just thick that it fills all that in and covers it nice.
Yes, yeah. It almost looks like a tape, and then they resurface over it, where the last time they did it, it was just the cheap way, it was the
Right.
resurface. If they would've done the armor option, we wouldn't have to visit this right now, but,
Well, we're gonna revisit, all right, we're gonna definitely revisit that at the turn of the year when we get our new budget, because it's something that needs to be done. I mean, it's gonna get worse, as you say.
Yeah.
Just like the asphalt in the streets. I mean, the sun beating down on it, it buckles, whatever, it's just gonna happen. There's definitely no cover over there. So,
Roger, can I ask a question? I probably should have asked it before when we were on the pool. Quick, easy one. Time frame.
of what?
We've been talking about of how long it's open. Is it dependent on the company we hire as to how much it is extra per week?
No.
Or?
It's dependent on how the contract is written by whoever company.
Okay,
When he came out, he asked me, and I was naive because my first time doing it. I said I wanted holiday to holiday.
okay.
Okay? And then, so that was the way the contract was written up. And
Okay.
then we decided we was gonna open a week earlier, so we did that, and
The
then
extra
decided,
money,
then we
okay.
decided we was gonna stay open a week later. So we can have the contract written any way we want. I think from experience, we don't wanna go past Labor Day, because that's when you get the big drop of the leaves.
Well, and that's the question, because.
That's just my suggestion.
Well, and that's really to figure that out. Is this a year that it's dry? Do we always get this drop in leaves at this point in time? Because
I know it's fall and the leaves are gonna fall.
my
I'm
kids are
getting my
bigger,
yard.
and so I'm not there as much, but a lot of people with kids in school are saying, why are we the only neighborhood around that isn't open, the pool's not open during fall break? Now, that's the end of September. So is that worth the money? Because, but there's the
That's
thing,
something,
it's like right now it's been really hot.
when we first,
90 degrees.
Yeah, it's been really hot, but then
Yeah.
if we do it until the end of September, it's gonna be like 50,
I could leave the pool open year round, I don't care, But again, we don't know the season as far as heavy drop leaves,
Right.
quick drop leaves, whatever. These leaves drop quick this year.
Right.
They drop quick.
really early, yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the rain.
What I hear you asking is like, what are the trade-offs? How is it expensive for every week you leave it
It's-
open?
With
Or
this
just they just
contract,
write
it's
it in the
$300.
contract.
$3 per week.
$300
Per week.
per week, yeah, with this contract. Now, we already said we're gonna go to another company. Okay, I don't know what that company would
But
be.
maybe
That's
next
the
year
contract.
we ask the residents. I mean, if
Yeah.
there's so many of them that are complaining because they want to be here, and again, we just word it right that says, hey, you gotta know if you want it open till the end of September, it might cost this much more and it might be cold, so you might
Well,
not be in
we
it.
put out an email, and the only thing people came back to me and said 1 week. So I haven't heard
Right,
anything more than a
right,
week.
at the time.
So no one came back, and we finally said we're closing it. No one came out and
No,
said
But
we're
at
gonna
some
wait.
point, the burden
Yeah.
falls back on the residents to communicate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
because
and I'm
no one
not
came with
saying
it.
anything now, I'm just saying, and I've said to people, if you want it open longer, you need to communicate with the
Communicate with
board before we get to writing the contract, and we'll look at that. and,
Right.
you
It's
know,
all
if a
it's all about the
neighborhood-
contract. It's all about the contract. However, because the thing is with it is if you keep it open longer, you got to keep them coming out here clean. That's bottom line.
And kids are in school and the pool's sitting here not being used all that time, then it doesn't make.
And I'll be honest with you.
There's a lot of younger families, and those are families with younger kids
Yeah, that's
that aren't in
true.
school, and those are the ones like, well, I wanted to take my
That's
little ones
true.
down, it's been hot.
Trying to make an equitable
All they gotta do is,
distribution of-
Yes.
but again, with all of our communication ways and technology, all they do is send an email out, because he's constantly sending them out, and say, hey, can we get the pool 1 more week for my toddlers?
Yep.
Bam, we talk about it on the board, because I text out everybody on the board, okay, we'll make it happen. So we let them know to communicate. But again, we're gonna get a new contract next year, and we'll have the contract, it looks like we're gonna probably do a week before and a week after the holiday. We can have it written from that way from the very beginning. It's all about a contract. How
You
you
have
want
to
it
keep in
written.
mind too, there are more than just the pool company costs too, because you got
Oh,
the
yeah.
water and power
Oh,
and stuff,
yeah.
and the water costs a lot down here. I think because we have a leak, it's been like $700 a month.
Well, and that's
Oh
the
my
thing,
gosh, those
like you said, it's the communication, are they,
Yes,
do
it's
they
it.
think about it at that time and they're not communicating, and then all these things, so I think
Yeah.
it's getting the whole package. If we do it,
But I'm
this,
gonna-
here's the extra money,
Oh.
and then we're probably eventually gonna have to start raising your dues if we're gonna do this, so is everybody in agreement, or what's the majority think? That's it.
But it's all about communication. It's all about communication.
I
Um,
would say no.
so
I don't think enough
we're gonna
people
keep
come down here.
talking about your tennis courts, getting them upgraded.
Okay.
At the next meeting is when we're really getting to the money part of it, because we don't know what this is gonna cost with this leak. But we'll keep that going.
So we're revisiting that at the next board.
Yes.
Okay.
Kit, before I hit you with the treasurer's report, I just want to put out a few things. For people who've been on the board, this January being 2 years, they're up for re-election. It's up to you guys how you want to do us interim people. Because I'm an interim, Kit's an interim.
I think we're all in it.
No,
Jay,
Jared and him were voted in.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it would be
Everybody
2
else.
years for them for
Everybody
January.
else is-
Everybody else. Now you can make the interim go up to the period or start the 2-year when we first came in. That's up to you guys. I think it was put in as a rotation so the whole board wouldn't turn over at one time.
Right.
So basically, Cole and Jared are up for re-election in January.
Okay.
So we need to start putting out stuff, I guess we'll do it around November, about voting for those 2 positions. And I guess myself, Kit, Jen, and Jay will be the next year.
And we need someone on the pool committee.
No one
We
wants
don't
to
have
get
anyone-
Yeah,
we need to get her off of the website picture, right?
Yep.
For the pool, because she hasn't been in the pool committee ever, and she's listed, and I've heard things going through the neighborhood that she's not happy about it. We need
Oh,
someone
I asked her
officially on
about
the
it before I
pool.
put her on there. She said that's fine.
Network.
She's actually the one that gave me the picture. I'm like, all right.
That's weird.
Oh, Jen,
So is she the pool committee or is she not?
She said she was.
I tell you, Jen,
Has she done anything?
let's get
She's not the
let's
pool
okay. Let me ask a question real quick. We got a lot of concern right here about this pool.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
need some attention on it.
Is anybody
Somebody
here?
do something.
Is there anybody here that would like to be the head of the pool committee? That's where our problem comes in.
What does that entail? That's the question.
Helping write the contract up, going over with the guy, okay? Just like a social committee, coming down here, hey, I need to call the pool guy. This thing looks horrible today. Come on back. You need to come back, get your people here. Those type of things. There is some self things for us with this pool. You can't put it all on the pool company. I'm not defending the pool company, don't get me wrong. But you got some leaves over there, you got those things hanging up over there. You can pick that leaf right up and get in the pool. I'm not defending them.
Oh,
But there's just some
we
things
do that all
okay,
the
there's
time,
something.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, we do need a pool committee.
Pool committee, we have tennis committee, we have social
That
committee.
there's,
you know,
it's,
we have
it's,
all-
it's almost like breaking teeth to get people to volunteer in the neighborhood. That's the problem. We can put out, we won't get nothing. I got Jay to be the vice president because I just went out and asked him. You're against asking people to do things.
No, I mean,
No.
I would say for the pool committee, I'm against going to my neighbor next door that's never painted his house,
Yeah.
whatever.
Like
pool
something,
committee.
yeah.
No, that's not an option. Like the HOA needs to take care of that because it's a bad situation.
So ask him to be
Right.
part of the pool committee.
Yeah,
I'm playing.
no, it needs to be someone that goes to the pool, right?
Yeah, somebody's down
There's
here
people that go to the pool every day that don't want to help or
Right.
don't want to assist, but if they're here every day, they're the perfect candidate, right? If they want
I
it
agree.
extended, they're the perfect
So
candidate.
next time you hear someone complain about the pool, just ask
You
them to
want-
be pool committee.
As
And I
pool
wish this had
people-
come up when she was still here because she was one of my
I was
complaints,
thinking,
and I would ask her.
Or is she not teaching anymore?
I think, I don't know, I think
I think
she's
she's still
teaching.
teaching, isn't she?
But that's,
And
you
I
know, because
travel Sunday
right
through
now,
Thursday, so I'm not a good candidate.
I'm not gonna
I'll
lie to
never
you.
take it.
I guess you could say I kind of been a pool committee, so to speak. Because as soon as I get a complaint, I'm running down here.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem come down here. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Well, but if there's
These
a
guys
committee,
communicate,
that's
and I'm in on the communication. I mean, they
I
communicate
know.
multiple times a week
Yeah.
about this very
multiple
issue.
times a day,
yeah.
sometimes.
Because
Yeah.
because
So one of those
but the thing
people
about it
needs to be
also,
the
the
pool
pool,
committee.
the pool committee person who's ever involved ahead of it needs to have a relationship
Ken, I'm
with
not gonna
the
ask you to be
company.
Right.
No.
You're already doing
That
it.
that
You don't
needs to
want
happen.
be-
I don't
And
know
I
either.
have
And the fact that if you have a committee like we've had in the past, it's not always falling on just one person.
Well,
And-
you're absolutely correct, but they still need to have a relationship with the company.
Absolutely.
Because I have a relationship with Morgan, and then believe me, it's a love-hate relationship. Because I'll get on him, and he's even told him.
And then he calls me. He's like, Roger, I'm just talking to Roger.
I get on him. I don't be playing with him. I'm like, this is not right. I want it fixed, and that's why I talk to him.
Oh, it's
Well,
got.
that's just
You know,
business, right?
yeah.
I mean,
You know,
that's the way it is
and,
in business.
and it's not the type of
Deal,
thing-
This is our agreement.
Yeah.
Do what you
why I don't
said
go into
you're
business with
gonna
my
do in the
brother.
agreement.
And
Wanna have that
Right.
conversation.
And I hate it that this
Yeah.
is the first time that I've heard the whole pool season that they come and sign and leave. I hate that.
Yeah.
Let someone know if they do that. Damn, Morgan, your guy just left here. He didn't do nothing.
A lot of the pool companies just have kids that
Yeah.
do the jobs or whatever, and it's kind of up to someone here to kind of monitor them.
Yeah, you know, 'cause if
they only
I'm
have
told
one owner,
something-
he's everywhere.
Because I believe this. You know, you guys allow me to be in this position. So if you come to me with something, I'm going to address it. I'm going to.
Sure.
I know that's true.
You know,
Yes.
and I tell you, me and Morgan, I'm gonna hold the phone out like this sometime. Because I'm out on him. Morgan, the pool, and I don't curse it, the pool looks horrible. And he said, well, my guy just did it. Your guy's lying.
Are
Point blank.
Hold the check.
Yeah.
Don't
So,
pay.
but again,
Cut 'em off.
so, and that's what he did last time.
Money gets their attention.
Yeah. So let me carry on because we're going to have a round table. Sure. But I want to get through the treasurer's report because that's our next thing. That'd be Kit.
Yeah, I'll do that very quickly because, I mean, everything's actually looking pretty good because based on last year's utilities, we saved some money there. Jared always does a good job in cutting costs on the landscaping and making deals with people and things.
Yes.
I mean, you'll see on the front page the cash, just showing you that we try to maintain the 50,000 in savings. So that's really our goal for each year is to not cut into that. Now we've had a lot of capital expenditures this year with major repairs and things with the lighting up front and the new pole here, security lighting, and the lighting went out on one side, or was out for a while, and we got it, we finally put in a whole new power meter on the other side, and of course that increases our power by $15-20 a month by having that separate meter. But then as soon as we got that on, the other side went out, we ended up replacing the transformer. That's another $300 or so.
Can they replace the pole pumps too?
We've replaced all 3 pumps,
Yeah.
or the motors,
And
the
that's
pump
how
motors.
much?
Yeah, okay. Make sure you get the address right. Not pumps, replace the motors.
Yeah, pump motors.
Okay.
No, because the pump attaches to the motor, but they're all good.
Okay.
Yep, and we also
Thank you.
added a chlorinator. Apparently we
We put-
lost one at some point, and we
And then that's when they went to the salt.
Yep.
And we're not using the salt any longer. We went back to chlorination, which is a lot more efficient, a lot less expensive, which is what is leaking if you turn the pumps on right now. And I've already addressed that with Morgan.
Yeah.
So we'll get that fixed.
Then we paid for the tree limb removal, and then of course tomorrow we're getting a new pond pump. That being said, we've saved a lot of money, as well as more houses have been sold this year than we expected. I mean, we don't know how many houses are going to sell, so we just knew of a couple of them in the beginning. So I had a budget of $1,000, but we're actually going to end up with $2,500, and so $1,500 extra in income because of the initiation fees when new homeowners come in. And we've got one that's pending sale right now under contract. So you'll see that our income is almost $5,000 more than we expected. And then you'll see the landscaping. We still have another $2,400 that we're thinking will be left over from that. And then you'll see in the maintenance and repairs, that one is $1,700 in the hole, so it kind of makes up for it overall. And then utilities is where we're really getting a benefit there, and that is because also when we close the pool down, we turn the water off and everything, and that cuts down on the water bill.
Can we still go to the bathroom?
That's
We're going to leave that on
question,
until freezing.
yeah.
Okay.
And we already had that conversation. And
With tennis
Yes.
lessons
Yeah.
going on down here, we always
No
try to
problem,
have the
no problem.
bathrooms clean.
The
so
only
we need
problem we
water.
have is we'll have to shut it down during freezing temperature. Because that's
It's
during the
not
pipes out.
heated.
But then you guys won't be out here probably when it's that cold, right?
I mean, yes, we might be. We used to play in the snow here, but I don't know. The kids are out there. I don't know what their schedule is.
Well, I don't want burst pipes. That's why we have to get these pipes drained, because this is not a really insulated area. We don't have heat in there to heat it up and stuff. And we did have that, from what I understand, 2 years ago. We had to tear out all the walls, replace the pipes. I don't want that. So when I hear of a freeze, personally, I come down here and turn that water off, and I open up all those valves, get those lines empty, and then I lock the restrooms. Because right now, I'm the only one with keys to the restrooms right now.
Kit, you were mentioning about landscaping, the little extra money. Have we asked them, are they gonna come trim all this overgrowth that's growing up by the creek? Can we get that done so we don't have the big, huge problem that we had in the past? Or is that part of
Stuff's
the
already
contract?
been talked about,
Okay.
because all those crepe myrtles have never been trimmed on our entrance.
Yeah. I'm just-
Me and Jared did not agree on that.
But
For the
you're-
simple reason, I feel like trim trees anytime during the year. But since he's in agriculture, I went along with him, and we didn't trim them. So this fall, they're gonna all get trimmed out there, And that will include all this area, because I remember when this was this thick bush, and we got to try to keep it thinned out.
Right, so
So that'll
they'll
be,
doing
we're
that?
gonna get
Okay.
that taken care of, yes. And also, I don't know if it's included in there or not, but I think we're about ready for another pine straw,
Mhm.
because I think it's getting pretty bad out here.
Yep.
And yes, you can kill the trees if you.
Hey, Jared, like I said, I didn't want to overrule Jared. He's the agricultural guy or whatever, and he's like, you can't trim them in the spring. Man, I could care less.
Well, these trees around the pool, we were like, well, if they die, we want to cut them down anyway. We don't really want them at all. We were just trying not to have to cost as much. So, but anyway, overall, everything's looking really good, and mostly because of the like utilities where I think we're saving over last year based on the budget and the landscaping, and then the additional income, $1,500 for this year. Plus, Jared and we went and helped to get some of the delinquent HOA dues, so that came in that we weren't expecting. The last page, I just wanted to point out that I have been going through all the paperwork, so when you become treasurer, you just get a big pile of binders with lots of papers and stuff. So I went through all of those and I tried to find the large expenses and like the major events and things, because we kind of need to know. We're at the 20-year mark on the pool and the tennis courts and different things. I'm like, okay, what's about to come up that maybe we're not expecting, and then maybe we need to come up with a 5-year, 10-year plan rather than just do year to year. So here's like a list of the things I could find and the information I could find and how much they cost and how often they were done. I mean, you'll see things in there like, oh, we've replaced the pool motors how many times in the past 5 years? Why is that? Maybe there's something going on there.
Lots of cleaning.
Yeah.
Well, one thing with the pumps, and because it's commercial, they got to run 24 hours a day. And that's a lot. That room is heated in there. That's a lot.
I don't see how someone.
If it's a residential pool,
Yeah.
you can put them on
Could that
timers.
be a smart thing to like where pumps come on and off at certain
No,
times?
because by the county they have to run 24 hours
have to.
because they're constantly putting chemicals into the pool. Yeah, that's what county.
You can, so. I'm
Residential,
so I
you
know
can-
a lot about it now.
Yeah,
But
residential,
you
she can put a timer on it, and she can
have
cut them on and off.
smartphone that controls them, but
Yeah, and you
you
can have
turn it off at
It's
night,
commercial, you
turn
have
it-
to.
yeah, her commercial
But you
because
can
we're being
turn it
inspected.
on at
We're being
4
inspected.
a.m.
She's not being inspected at her house. Because if someone gets sick out here because of low chlorine, we're going to get fined.
What we were going to do is just fill that in and
Some
have a
dirt.
community garden, and then we're going to go to her house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or your neighbor.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or their
But
neighbor.
I do have a Ring doorbell, floodlight, so
Yeah.
beware.
So we can go right in. You'll let us right in?
There's what, 4
Even if you're
pools
not
right
there.
there?
Yeah, you got all the pools.
We got 6 in the whole neighborhood now. 4, 1 and 2,
Yeah,
6.
just jump the fence, I mean,
Hey, they do it over here. Right?
Why not, just knock it,
Reach
just
under the
knock
gate.
it down.
But yeah, that's the only thing. 'Cause they run 24 hours a day, and it gets hot in there. Because what's happened with the motors is the bearings are wearing out because they're just running constantly, and it gets hot in there. And those bearings have. It's just one of those things. But
Yeah. So anyway, so that was just food for thought. Just some things I found if you were interested in, especially when we look forward, when we get into the year and something happens, we're always wanting to go, when was the last time this happened, or has this happened
Right.
before? How much did this cost
That's
before?
great.
Mhm.
So no, I don't think anybody wants to look through all that paperwork, but
So what
One
is the
thing
new pool safety cover? What is that? Is that
that's
the,
the full
Cover.
cover.
the pool covers? You
Yeah.
guys already bought it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's rotted.
Oh.
Rotted.
The
It
other one
rotted
had
out.
holes in
That's
it.
Order it.
expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
$8,000.
But it lasts that one lasts like 20 years.
Oh, okay.
See, yours will last a lot longer because you'll probably get out there and rinse it off with the hose every now and then. And
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
I won't have one. I don't have a cover.
You don't have a cover?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It'll never close down.
Thanks for letting us know.
That's heated
Oh,
too.
yeah. Yeah, you're in. That's what I'm
I'm
talking
We
about.
need somebody to, house it, let us know.
I got a question on
I
this.
do, I know.
I got a question on this list you have here.
Visitors.
Yes.
I don't see any cost when they did the tennis courts.
Oh, the recent one?
Well, no, whenever it was done. I mean, you've gone all the way back to 2005. I don't see anything
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Good call out.
I'll go back and look and see if I can find something. Depends on
Yeah,
how they got the
it's
invoices.
You
Did
sent
I?
me the invoice one day, because I said, no, it wasn't done, because that company told me it wasn't done, and then I can dig it out. You sent me
Okay.
the invoice.
Yeah, I don't see that on there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder
it's
if
a
that
good-
one. Wonder if that one was in an email and not.
We've got
Physical.
future 20 for it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find it and send it back to you.
Okay.
We got anything else on the budget?
Okay.
Treasury report?
No.
I'd like to put a motion on the floor that we accept the treasury report as it was read.
Motion.
We got a second by Cole. We'll go ahead and do a round table. Anybody have anything? Bianca, we'll start with you.
No, I'm just curious, listening, trying to meet new neighbors, since there are so many that I don't even know.
Well, we appreciate you
anymore. I
coming.
used to know.
I know, yeah.
You guys know Bianca, that's one of my walking teams.
Oh,
She walks
nice.
also, her and her husband both.
Yes, I've seen them a lot.
You have anything, ma'am?
No, I'm just looking at, we spent a lot of money on a salt system, 42,000, and now we're going to.
No.
No, okay.
42,000 was to resurface the pool and the salt system.
And the salt system.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And just to give you updated, we got rid of the salt system. Salt system is more efficient while it's running. But the
Okay.
cells have to be replaced every so often,
Okay.
and they're expensive.
Okay.
That's why we decided to get away from the salt system and go back to chlorine.
Okay.
But what percentage of that 42,000 was the salt? Did we spend a lot of money on initial?
I off the top of my head, I remember talking. I think it was 4 digits, and then the cells are $800 to replace, and there's 2 of them in it, and that's every 3 or 4 years. Chlorine, you just buy a bucket of chlorine about $100, and it's gonna last y'all season.
I was just curious. 'Cause I think a lot of us enjoy the salt.
The salt.
A lot better.
Yeah.
It's that much more expensive.
The salt is very good.
They told me just the opposite when I bought a pool. So I said, hey, I travel 5 days a week. Tell me what is the lowest maintenance, what is the lowest cost? Salt. Salt. Every company I went to said salt is the lowest to maintain, and salt turns into chlorine.
Yeah.
So
It's the only.
I don't know who told
See, the
all
thing with
this and
salt.
why they converted
This is
it,
the
but I'm
thing
just
with
telling you
salt.
what they told me.
Salt is very, very good for a residential pool. It's awesome. But when you're running pumps 24 hours a day and you're putting chemicals in there all the time, it gets expensive. It's better for you because you don't have the smell, you don't have the burning eyes, you don't have the itchy skin. It's better for you. But it's more expensive for these commercial pools. That's what I found out. I voted all for the salt when they first put it in.
Yeah.
I voted all for it because I know how it makes you feel and your skin is beautiful. But then as I got into the board, I'm like, oh, dang, them cells got to be replaced, and they're expensive. And they don't last forever. But between the cell change, it's no cost because it's done by electricity and a low-cost salt. You have anything else? Jen?
Just wanted to let you know, and excuse me, Cole put it in the notes, but I'm looking at early November, probably early November because of Thanksgiving, but doing a block party. Years ago, we had a block party down on our cul-de-sac. It was great. It was just like a little potluck for those of you who were here and came down. And a lot of people came down. It was just meet your neighbor, come hang out, say hello, whatever. We can put up the big 16-foot inflatable screen on Saturday evening and show football, whatever. But I'd like to do that again
do it.
and
I'm
get
all for
it. Maybe because it's come and go whenever, maybe we can get more people down.
Well, I
Hopefully
think
get
your
everybody.
signs are going to help get people because people will see the sign going in and out of the neighborhood. I think that's going to really generate for all of our events, and I really do.
And I think then we can talk to people and get the word out. Then even asking people, here's what we need, because we miss so many people, and everybody's got a different time or date that works. So
Hey, I'm all for it. I social events. I might not attend them all, but it's not about me. It's about all you guys. I'm like all for it. Because I know the Halloween thing is awesome every year.
I'd say we have great turnout at the Halloween thing. The problem is it's right after work. Everybody gets up there, gets something to eat quick, and then goes trick or treating. So it's not conducive to really meet everybody.
It's not a lot of mingling.
What?
It's like a grab
It is. It's
not a big
something
mingling
to go.
event.
Right, because the kids are ready to go.
Right.
Yes.
Kids gonna go get candy.
Well, that's it.
No.
And that's what we've been trying to figure out. How do we meet the new people? I mean, we, as the board or a social committee or a greeting committee, can go around and say hello and introduce ourselves, but still, and that's what we've talked about so many times. There are people that walk the streets all the time, or walk the streets, walk around all the time, and I've never seen them. I'm like, they live here, obviously, but I couldn't tell you where they live or who they are. We all feel that way.
I tell you, I walk the thing every day and I still don't know everybody.
I used to. I used to.
I will say this though,
Not anymore.
I recognize cars now. I know when it's a car that doesn't belong here. Because I see them, I see the cars down there, so when I see a car down here, especially if you're here at 7 o'clock in the morning, you don't know. But, is that it, Jim? Question for you, when can we expect to get the signs?
I'm gonna get with Lisa about verbiage for tennis. I'll confirm stuff with, Kid. I can get, the creative pretty much is done. I just
Okay.
gotta put verbiage and stuff, and then I can send you out,
Okay.
sign and
And you-
pricing and approvals and stuff and send it out.
And you are also working on the tags, putting the cars and stuff?
I've got tags, I did that at the beginning of the year. I can send that out and I'll just change it for 2020 and.
Because I was gonna say, let's have that ready to go at the next meeting, because that's our annual meeting. And we can give it out to people at the annual meeting.
Yep.
I think that'd be a good idea. Start that with this new year coming in January, boom.
Yeah.
Okay. You have anything, sir?
No.
He wants to volunteer for
Pool committee.
pool or something.
Help put together
John's
the
like,
sign,
no.
president only,
Yeah,
right?
I'll help with that.
We noticed that the middle tennis lights are out. It must be an electrical problem. So, we only had one light out and it was a bulb, but now it's, all of the middle lights are out.
When did that
I think
happen?
It happened about 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay.
They were all working.
What was the guy
And
that you
then
had to come?
someone has gone down there and messed with or gone in the room and messed with
I did that about 3 days ago.
Well, I don't know what's happened in 3 days, but like 2 weeks ago, someone had literally turned off the tennis lights from that room.
Inside there.
Why?
I don't know, 'cause the
so
timer-
we can't play. Yeah. So we figured it out, but now there's like, it's like someone shorted out the light.
Well, do you remember the guy that came out and did it before? Because he was real inexpensive.
Yeah, he's our tennis.
Can you,
court surface guy.
you want to get with him and have him come out and give an estimate, and then we'll
Okay.
get that fixed?
Okay.
But you
I think
gotta have
it's an
lights.
electrical issue though. It's not a bulb issue. It's electrical.
So he doesn't do electrical.
I'll ask. I'm not sure.
Okay.
He replaces bulbs. It was like $100 or.
Because see, the
$200.
electrical people that do nothing but electrical, they're quite expensive because we have to pay for them to rent the lift. So they put that whole
Oh,
fee
yeah,
on us
no,
to
they
rent it,
have
but
the
they already
lift.
have the lift, so that makes
Yeah.
it beautiful.
I'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll call him.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Then we can get that there together. So date of next meeting, this is incorrect because it's going to be January because that'll be our annual meetings. Do we want to do the church?
Yes.
Because we probably have the amount of
Yes,
people.
for the
Yeah,
annual,
Okay.
I think we're good.
So we'll go ahead and schedule that. And when are we going to do that? You get a phone, look at a calendar here. Because that's something we need to really get out to people.
Well, the reason why I put the December 15th on there is I thought maybe we could meet one more time to look at the budget before we present it in
Yeah, we'll
January.
have
We
to
can do
meet
that.
probably
We can do that.
That was
December
more of an
15th, just a
internal.
board meeting.
I can't do
Okay.
the 15th.
I have a board meeting in December.
What day of the week is that?
I'm gonna have to look. I think I just said December. I didn't have a day of the week.
Yeah, 15.
15th.
December 15th.
For the 15th, but.
December board meeting, yeah, so December 15th. All right.
So, and that'd just be a board meeting, correct?
That's what
Yeah,
I've
just
got.
kind of for
Okay.
budget reasons.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Can we get off to Sundays?
Yes, that'd be great.
You know, I mean, we have the annual meeting during the week, in the evening.
Mhm.
Can we get off to Sundays and maybe a Thursday evening or Wednesday evening
I
or
think we can
something?
do a weekday evening.
I
You know?
travel.
Yeah, that was always my
I travel
problem.
Sunday through Thursday, and I get home last Thursday at midnight. So
Oh.
That used to be my
either
schedule.
fr-
I could never go to them. I'm like,
I mean, each
they always
day
have
is
them in the
equally
week.
chaotic at my house.
Yeah.
so-
I can dial in.
Well, we
You have
can,
a dial-in
I'll tell you
number.
what, we'll keep the December 15th since it's already there. We'll go ahead and do that one. And that'll just be for the board, so we can get all of our stuff ready for the next meeting. And then when we want to do the one in January,
What time are we doing December 15th?
we do like we always do, 2
Oh, the
o'clock.
afternoon,
So we usually do it on a Thursday in January, correct? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. So we've got we're gonna get through the holidays, either the 16th or the 23rd.
yeah. Earlier the better, I think.
Wanna go to 16th?
Well,
Or we
look at
go to
your,
9th? I don't know.
Look at your football though, you get into playoffs and everything.
Well, that's-
no
You
joke.
know what I said?
We're in Thursday, yeah.
I was
Tentative.
thinking
I'm gonna
this
be
weekend.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, I know.
I agree with you.
You want more people to do
Oh,
this?
but
It's an evening, so I was
Yeah,
thinking it
you
was
gotta
a
do it.
weekend, so.
it's gonna be a Sunday evening, and that was a Thursday.
Or
I'm sorry.
Thursday, that's what I'm saying.
But Thursday is Thursday night football.
Thursday football too. Tuesday.
But I mean, I gave up my football today to be here. I mean, you gotta pick your priorities in life. You know, you care about your community. You can tape a game. You know what I mean?
Quick, let's end, so we can go.
Yeah.
Oh, the Falcons, that's tonight though, right?
It's tonight for the Falcons, yes, sir. But my crew is downtown tailgating right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sounds like it was a away game.
Time to go.
So what day?
So, but I mean, this is priority to me. It really is, because I care about my community.
We
You know,
appreciate it.
this
We
is
do.
priority.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
is it, we want to do the 9th, the 16th, or the 23rd for the annual meeting?
16 sounds good to me.
16th, and what we do,
Yeah.
7:30?
I think it's 7.
We do 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go and put that in there, and we'll start letting the people know so they can prepare for their family lives or whatever.
No way.
Yeah, we had a really good turnout last year,
Yeah.
or this year.
Yeah. Kid, let me look at my schedule. One day this week, I get those cameras, or we'll get down and get them up. I'll just put the procrastinate behind me. At least I admit I do it.
Yeah, let me know if you need help, I'll come down.
I think I was gonna be just maybe drilling 2 screws for each one, because they're fake cameras.
Yeah.
And we'll put one on this corner and one in that corner. And just see how it goes, and then we get our signs together.
And they have the light, the battery that makes the light.
Yeah, it's red.
Light.
They're double A. Matter of fact, hopefully they're still good if it's in here, probably your car. But yeah, I think it's a double A battery on them. But it's, I'll be honest with you, I can be very lazy at times. I mean, just being real with it. When you get retired, sometimes you just don't care. But anyway, I will put the procrastination behind me, and I'll get with those. We'll do that.
That'd be good, because, we've even seen a lot of people down there smoking in
They go
that
in
wooded
there.
area.
They go in
It
there,
gets
yeah.
reeks of
I tell you,
smoke.
that right there irks me because of the safety reason, first of all.
Yeah.
Because if you're down there smoking, I mean, last year we found a campfire. You remember that? It's sad. Yeah, they had a campfire. I mean, literally, it was a campfire
Toilet
with
paper, our toilet paper was wrapped.
with
around.
condoms laying around out there.
Nasty.
It was nasty.
You caught him.
Yeah, it was 2 guys were coming out, and I just had to drive up and I caught them. And I knew what house that car had come from, so I went to that house. And that's the house that the police have been to numerous of times in this subdivision. There's a lot of
Can we, well.
adolescent problem in that home. The kid has been on house arrest. There's a lot of situations going on in that home with the kid. We're just
Roger,
dealing with
can I-
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I wanted to, after we adjourn the meeting, I wanted to ask some questions about that, and I'm glad that Mom's here.
Not very many people want to.
About what you just said, but I didn't want it on tape or.
I see. So, does anybody have anything else for the meeting?
Yeah. Oh,
Kid, you have any? You have? Were you finished? Were you
That's
finished?
done, yeah.
Okay. You have anything? Open around there. Anybody have? So, you didn't get a chance. You have anything?
Good.
So, if all hearts and minds are clear, we can go ahead and close the meeting, and we'll close it at 15:39. Again, I'd like to thank all that did come out. I think it was a very productive meeting. I think we got some concerns followed up on and everything else.